know, over 1,000 times. Summers and winters, half the mound had been worn, and the rains sparked out some of the dirt. Some babies who weren't even born had begun speaking regular sentences already. And a number of people who thought they were bright, young, and spry noticed they can't nail to the flight of stairs as they used to. Got their heart fluttering a bit. All that can happen in 1,000 days. Nature's been pushing and trying in other ways too. A number of young people grew in love and got married. Yes, now it's that get away a few fractions of an inch. Millions of gallons of water run by the mill. And here and there, a new home will sit up under roof. Almost everybody in the world gets married. You know what I mean? In our town, there weren't hardly any exceptions. Most everybody in the world, climbs into their graves, married. The first act is called the daily life. This act, love and marriage. And there's another act coming after this one. I reckon you can get your death about. So, it's 3 years later. It's 1904. It's July 7th, just after the high school commencement. That's when most of our young people jump up and get married. As soon as they pass their last examinations in solid geometry and Cicero's orations, they suddenly see themselves fit to be married. It's early morning, only this time it's raining. It's pouring and thundering. Mrs. Gibbs' garden, Mrs. Webb's here, drenched. All those bean poles and pea vines, drenched. Oh, yesterday over there on Main Street, the rain with the curtains being blown along. Maybe gonna get it in a minute. There, you can hear the 5:45 Boston. And here comes Miss Webb and Miss Gibbs. Come downstairs to make breakfast, just as though we're an ordinary day. Now, I don't have to point out to the women in the audience that those ladies they see before them, both those ladies cook 3 meals a day, one of them for 20 years, the other for 40, and no summer vacation, wash and clean the house, and never a nervous breakdown. It's like what one of those Middle West poets say. You've got to love life to have life. And you've got to have life to love life. It's what they call a vicious circle. Get up, Bessie. Here comes Hallie Newsome, deliver the milk. And there's Cy Powell, deliver the papers like the brother before him. Morning, Howie.
Morning, Cy. Anything in the papers out of
Nothing much. Except we're just about the best baseball pitcher Grover's Corner ever had, George Gibbs.
Reckon he is.
He could hit it on bases too.
Yep, mighty fine ball player. Whoa, Bessie! I guess I can stop and talk. Stop and mind too.
I don't see how anyone would give up a thing like that just to get married. Would you?
Can't tell, Cy. Never had no talent that way. You're up early, Bill.
Seeing if there's anything I can do to prevent a flood. Probably some automatic.
Cy Powell here's all worked up about George Gibbs and Thompson baseball.
Yes, sir, and that's the way it goes. Back in '84 side, we had a player, even George Gibbs couldn't touch him. Named Hank Todd. Went down to Maine and became a Parson. Wonderful ball player. How's the weather looking?
Oh, it ain't bad. It made them clear up.
Morning, Howie. Think it's gonna rain again?
Morning, Miss Gibbs. Rain so heavy, I think it'll clear up.
I'm certainly hoping so.
How much is one there?
Household relations, Howie. What's Simeone? 3 milk and 2 cream.
My wife says to tell you that we hope you'll both be very happy, Miss Gibbs, knowing us.
Well, thanks a lot, Howie. Tell your wife I hope she gets there to the wedding.
Oh, she'll be there. You know she can. Morning, Miss Webb.
Good morning, Mr. Newsom. Now, I told you before once a month, but I hope you can spare me another.
Yes, and Miss Whipped Cream.
Is it going to rain again, Mr. Newsom?
Well, just saying Miss Gibbs has some holiday right now. Miss Newsom asked me to tell you how we hope you'll both be very happy, Miss Webb, knowing them.
Thank you. And thank Mrs. Newsom. And we're both counting on seeing you at the wedding.
Yes, we'll be there. Couldn't miss that. Come on, Bessie.
Well, Ma, the day has come. You're losing one of your chins.
Oh, Frank, James, don't you say another word. You're like crying every minute. Here. Now you your coffee.
Room's up there shaving himself up in there. I'm getting off a lot of shave. Maybe whistling and singing like he's glad to leave us. Every now and then he says, I do in the mirror, but don't sound as good to the mirror.
Okay, Frank, I don't know how he'll get along. Tried to arrange his clothes and seems what he's put warm things on. Oh, Frank, they're too young. Emily won't think of such things. He'll catch his death of a cold within a week.
I was remembering my wedding morning, Julia.
Oh, now don't start that, Frank Gibbs.
I was the scariest young fella that came in Hampton. I thought I'd make a mistake for sure. And when I saw you walking down the aisle, I thought you were the prettiest girl I'd ever seen. Only trouble was, I'd never seen you before. There I was, in a Congregational church, wearing a full station.
How do you think I felt? Frank, weddings are supposed to be awful things. Farces, that's what they are. Here, I've made something for you.
By Julia Hershey, French toast.
It ain't hard to make, and I had to do something.
How'd you sleep last night, Julia?
Because the hours struck off.
Yes, I get a shock every time I think of George setting up to be a family man. That great gangling thing. I tell you, Julia, there's no thing so terrifying in the world as a son. The relation between father and son is the darndest, awkward.
Well, mother and daughter's no picnic, let me tell you.
You have a lot of troubles, I suppose, but that's none of our business. Everybody's in trouble.
Yes. People are meant to go through life 2 by 2. They naturally be lonesome.
Julia, you know what I was scared of when I married you?
Don't go along with you.
I was afraid we wouldn't have enough material for conversation more than last a few weeks. I was afraid we'd run out and eat our meals in silence, that's a fact. But you and I have been conversing for 20 years now. Got any noticeable differences?
Well, good weather, bad weather. Ain't very choice, but I always find something to say. Did you hear Rebecca stirring around upstairs?
No. But we began to hear she was managing everybody's business up there. Besides, in the room, you got being very
For Lord's sakes, this has got to stop. Rebecca, help me get your breakfast.
Good morning, everybody. Only 5 more hours to live.
Where are you going?
Just stepping across the grass to see my girl.
Now, George, you come on your overshoes. It's raining torrents. You don't go out of this house without you're prepared for it.
Oh, Ma, it's just a smash.
George! Catch your death of a cold and come all through the service.
George, who was your mother telling you?
From tomorrow on, you can kill yourself in all weathers, but while you live in my house, you'll live wisely, thank you. Maybe Miss Webbs used to call us at 7 in the morning. Here, take a cup of coffee first.
Be back in a minute. Good morning, Mother Webb.
Goodness, you frightened me. Now, George, you can come in a minute out of the wet, but you know I can't ask you in.
Why not?
You know the rule as well as I do. No groom is to see his bride on the day of the wedding, not until he sees her in the church.
Oh, that's just a superstition. Good morning, Mr. Webb.
Good morning.
Mr. Webb, you don't believe in that superstition, do you?
Well, there's a lot of common sense assumptions.
Millions have followed it, and you don't want to be the first to fly in the face of custom.
How is Emily?
She hasn't waked up yet. I haven't heard a sound out of her.
Emily's asleep.
Well, no wonder. We were up all hours sewing and packing. Now, I'll tell you what I'll do. You sit down here a minute and drink this little coffee, and I'll go upstairs and see that she doesn't surprise you. There's some bacon too, but don't be long about it.
Well, George, how are you?
Oh, fine. I'm fine. Mr. Webb, what sense could there be in a superstition like that?
Well, you see, on the wedding day, the girls stayed out for clothes, one thing or another. Don't you think that's probably it?
Yes, I never thought of that.
Girls actually might be nervous on the wedding.
I wish a fella could get married without all that marching up and down.
Every man that's ever lived has felt that way about it, George. For a while now, women have it all their own. It's the women folks who build up weddings for. Man looks pretty small at a wedding, George.
But you believe in it, don't you, Mr. Webb?
Yes. Don't you misunderstand me, my boy. Marriage is a wonderful thing. Wonderful thing. Don't you?
No, sir. How old were you when you got married?
Well, you see, I've been with Pop. I've taken a little time to get settled for myself, but Mrs. Webb, she wasn't too much older than what Emily is. Oh, age has been excluded, not mistake.
What were you going to say, Mr. Webb?
I don't know. Was I gonna say something? George, I was thinking the other night of some advice my father gave me when I got married. Charles, he said, Charles, start out early showing who's boss. Best thing to do is to give an order, even if it don't make sense, just so she'll learn to obey. And he said, if anything about your wife irritates you, a conversation or anything, just get up and leave the house. That'll make it clear to her, he said. He said, never to let your wife know how much money you have, never.
Well, Mr. Webb, I don't think
So I took the opposite of my father's advice, and I've been happy ever since. And let that be a lesson to you, George, never to ask advice on personal matters. George, you gonna raise chickens on your farm?
What?
Are you gonna raise chickens on your farm?
Well, Uncle Luke's never been much interested, but I thought
A
that...
book came into my office the other day on the philo system of raising chickens. I'm thinking of beginning a small way in the backyard. I'm thinking of putting an incubator in the cellar.
Charles, are you talking about that old incubator again? I thought you'd be talking about something worthwhile.
Well, you want to give the boys some good advice, I'll go upstairs and leave you alone with it.
George, I'm going to set up come downstairs and eat your breakfast. She said you're in love, but she doesn't run away as of you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, I guess you don't know about that older superstition.
What do you mean, Charles?
Since the cavemen, no bridegroom should see his father-in-law on the wedding day or near it. Now remember that.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Webb. Nice to know you again. You see, I want to know how all this began. Weddings, time to spend a lifetime together. I'm awfully interested in how big things like that begin. You know how it is. You're 21 or you're 22 and you make some decisions. And whoosh, you're 70 and you've been a lawyer for 50 years. You've got white-haired lady at your side. You're over 50,000 dollars. How do those things begin? George and Emily are going to show you now the conversation they had when they first knew that, as the saying goes, we're meant for one another. Before they do that, I want you to try to remember what it was like to have been very young. And particularly, the days when you were first in love. You're like a person sleepwalking, you didn't quite see the street you're in, you didn't quite hear everything that was said to you. Just a little bit crazy. Do you remember that, Louise? Now, they've been coming out of high school at 3 o'clock. George has been elected president of the junior class. And it's June. So that means he'll be president of the senior class all next year. And Emily's just been elected secretary and treasurer. I don't have to tell you how important that is. Yup, and there they are, coming down Main Street now. I can't believe I've got to go home. Goodbye. Oh, Ernestine, can you come over tonight and do Latin? Isn't that just sort of the worst thing? Tell me whether you have to. Goodbye. Goodbye, Helen. Goodbye, Fred.
Emily, can I carry your books home for you?
Why, thank you. It isn't fun.
Excuse me a minute, Emily. Say, Bob, if I'm a little late, start practice anyway, and throw Herb some long high ones.
Goodbye, Lizzie.
Goodbye, Lizzie. I'm awfully glad you were elected too, Emily.
Thank you.
Emily, why are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
You've been treating me so funny lately.
Since you asked me, George, I might as well say it right out at goodbye, Miss Corcoran.
Goodbye, Miss Corcoran. What is it?
I don't like the whole change that's come over you in the past year. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but I've got to tell the truth and shame the devil.
Change? What do you mean?
Well, up to a year ago, I used to like you a lot. I used to watch you, did everything because we've been friends for so long. And then you began spending all your time in baseball, and you never stopped to speak to anybody anymore, not even your own family you didn't. And George, it's in fact you got awful conceited, and all the girls say so. They've been upstairs in your face, but they say so behind your back, and it hurts me to hear them say it, but I've got to agree with them. I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but I can't be sorry I said it.
I'm glad you said it, Emily. Never thought that such things happened. It's hard for a fella not to have faults because of his character.
I always expect a man to be perfect, and I think he should be.
I don't think it's possible. Perfect, Emily.
My father is, and as far as I see, your father is too. There's no reason on earth why he shouldn't be.
Well, I feel it's the other way around. That men aren't naturally good, girls are.
Well, you might as well know right now that I'm not perfect. It's not as easy for a girl to be as perfect as a man because we girls are more nervous. Now, I'm sorry I said that all about you. I don't know what made me say it.
Emily?
Now you can see it's not the truth at all, and I suddenly feel it isn't important anyway.
Emily, would you like an ice cream soda or something before you go home?
Thank you, I would.
Hello, Stu. How are you? Good afternoon, Mrs. Slugger.
Hello, George. Hello, Emily. What do you have? Ah, hey, Flip. What are you crying about?
She just got an awful scare, Mr. Morgan. She almost got ran over by that hardware store wagon. And everybody says that Tom Humphrey drives like a crazy man.
Oh, well now. You take a drink of water, Emily. You look all shook up. I tell you, you gotta look both ways for across Main Street these days. It gets worse every year. What do you have?
I'll have a strawberry phosphate. Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
No. Have an ice cream soda. 2 strawberry ice cream sodas, Mr. Morgan.
2 strawberry ice cream sodas. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There are 125 horses in Grover's Corners this minute I'm talking to you. State inspector in here yesterday. And now they're bringing in these automobiles. Best thing you do is stay home. Why, I can remember when a dog could go sleep in the middle of Main Street and nothing come along to disturb it. There they are. Enjoy them. Yes, Mrs. Ellis, what can I do for you?
They're so expensive.
No. Don't you think that? We're celebrating our election. Then you know what else I'm celebrating?
No.
I'm celebrating because I've got a friend who tells me all the things that ought to be told.
George, please don't think about that. It's not true. You're...
No. You stick to it, Emily. I'm glad you said it. You'll see. I'm going to change so quick, you bet I'm going to change. Emily, I want to ask you a favor.
Yes?
If I go away to State Agriculture College next year, would you write me a letter once in a while?
I certainly will. I certainly will, George. It certainly seems like being away for years, you get out of touch with things. Maybe letters from Grover's Corners wouldn't be so interesting after all. Grover's Corners is a very important place when you think of all New Hampshire, but I think it's a very nice town.
Emily, the day wouldn't come when I would want to know everything that's happening. I know that's true.
Well, I'll try to make my letters interesting.
You know, whenever I meet a farmer, I ask him if he thinks it's important to go to agriculture school to be a good farmer.
Like George.
Yeah, and some of them say it's even a waste of time. You can get all those things anyway, at the campus the government hands out. And Uncle Luke's getting pretty old. He's not ready for me to start taking over tomorrow if I could.
My.
And like you say, being gone all that time, in other places, and meeting other people, gosh, if anything like that can happen, I don't want to go away. I guess new people aren't any better than old ones. I bet they almost never are. Emily, you're as good as a friend as I've got. I don't need to go and meet the people in other towns.
But, George, maybe it's very important for you to go into that cattle judging and soils and those things. Of course, I don't know.
Emily, I'm gonna make up my mind right now. I won't go. I'll tell Pa about it
But
tonight.
George, it's a whole year away. I don't see why I have to decide right now.
Emily, I'm glad you told me about that fault in my character. What you said was right, but there was one thing wrong with it, and that was when you said that for a year I wasn't noticing people, and you, for instance. Why, you say you were watching me when I did everything. I was doing the same to you all the time. Why, sure. I always thought of you as one of the chief people I thought of. I always made sure where you were sitting on the bleachers and who you were with. And for 3 days now, I've been trying to walk home with you, and something's always gotten in the way. Yesterday, I was standing over by the wall, and you walked home with Miss Porter.
George, life's awful funny. How could I have known that? Why, I thought.
Emily, I'm going to tell you right now why I'm not going to agriculture school. I think that once you find a person that you're fond of, I mean a person who's fond of you too and likes you enough to be interested in your character, well, I think that's just as important as college is, and even more so. That's what I think.
I think that's awfully important too.
Emily?
Yes, George?
Emily, if I do improve and make a big change, would you be, could you be?
I am now. I always have been.
So I guess it's an important talk we could have.
Yes. Yes.
Wait just a moment and I'll walk you home. Mr. Morgan, I'll have to go home and get you the money for this. It'll only take me a minute.
What's that? George Gibbs, do you need to tell me?
Yes, but I had my reasons, Mr. Morgan. Here's my gold watch so I come back with the money.
It's alright. Keep your watch. I'll trust you.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
I'll trust you 10 years, George, not a day over. That over your shotgun with you?
Yes, Mr. Morgan. There was nothing.
I'm ready.
Well, now we're ready to get on with the wedding.
There were a lot of things he said during the wedding.
I'm not the boss second one during the wedding. We can't come on to one wedding, naturally, and especially not for weddings over the quarter, where you're often paid for. In this wedding, I play the minister.
So that gives me the right to say a few more things about it. For a while now, the play gets pretty serious. You see, some churches say that marriage is a sacrament. I don't really know what that means, but I can guess. Mrs. Gibson, a few minutes ago, people were made to live 2 by 2. This is a good wedding. People are so put together that even at a good wedding, there's confusion way down deep into people's minds, and we thought that ought to be in our play too. The real hero of the scene isn't on the stage at all.
And you know who that is. It's like one of those European fellows said. Every child born in the world is nature's attempt at making a perfect human being. Well, you've seen nature push things from child for some time now. I know that nature's interested in quantity, but I think she's interested in quality too. That's why I'm in the ministry. And don't forget all of the other witnesses of this wedding. The ancestors, millions of them. Most of them set out to live 2 by 2 also. Millions of them. Well, that's my sermon. It's not very long anyways.
Nothing to cry about. It came over me at breakfast this morning. There was Emily eating her breakfast as she's done for 17 years, and now she's going off to eat in someone else's house. I suppose that's it. And Emily, she suddenly said, I can't eat another mouthful, and then she put her head on the table and she cried. I just got to say it. There's something downright cruel about the way we send our girls into marriage. I hope some of her girlfriends have told her a thing or two. It's cruel, I know, but I couldn't bring myself to say anything. I went into a blind spot myself. The whole world's wrong. That's what's the matter.
Hey, George! George! Look at him, fellas. He looks scared to death. Don't look so innocent, you geezer. You know what you're thinking. Don't disgrace the tea, big boy.
All right. That's enough of that. There used to be an awful lot of that kind of thing at weddings and prom and later. We're more civilized now. So they say. George, what's the matter?
I don't want to grow old. Why is everybody pushing me so?
George, you wanted it.
No, Mom, listen to me.
No, George, you're a man now.
Mom, for the last time I ask you, all I want to do is be a fella.
George! Anybody will stop. I'm ashamed of you.
What? Where's Emily?
George, you gave me such a turn.
Cheer up, Mom. Get married.
Just give me a minute.
Now, Mom, I want you to save Thursday nights. Emily and I are coming over for dinner every Thursday night. You'll see. Mom, what are you crying for? Come on, we gotta get ready for this.
I've never felt so alone in my whole life. And George over there looking so... I hate him. I wish I were dead. Papa.
Emily, don't get sad.
But Papa, I don't want to get married.
Just nervous to me.
Why can't I just stay with just say I'm let's go away?
No, Emily, stop and think a minute.
But don't you remember all the time you say all the time that I was your girl? There must be lots of places I could go for you. I can keep house.
No, Emily, you mustn't think of such things. Just nervous. George! Come here, Nick. While you're marrying the best young fellow in the world, George is a fine fellow. I'm giving away my dog. You take care of him.
Mr. Webb, I want to try. I'm going to do my best. I love you, Emily. I need you.
But if you love me, help me. All I want is for someone to love me.
I will, Emily. Emily, I'll try.
And I mean forever, do you hear? Forever and ever.
But wait. You are right.
To you, George, this woman Emily. Perfectly lovely wedding, loveliest one I ever saw.
I do love the wedding, don't you?
Couldn't you be a lovely bride?
I do.
To you, Emily, to this man George, to be your
Don't know why I'm seeing such a lovely wedding, but I always cry. I don't know why it is, but I always cry. I just don't think what they're going to do.
I've married over 200 couples in my day. Do I believe in it? I don't know. Anne marries Anne, millions of them. Cottage, the go-kart, the Sunday afternoon drives in the Ford, the first rheumatism, the grandchildren, the second rheumatism, the deathbed, the reading of the will. Once in 1,000 times. It's interesting. Well, let's have Mendelssohn's Wedding March.
Don't know what I've been to such a lovely wedding. I'm sure to be happy. I would say happiness, that's a great thing. The important thing